Hey y'all, it's me, Lynn Daniel, coming to you today. It is Monday, July 28th, 2014, and it's been a few days. I haven't vlogged. That's because I was spending valuable family time, and so yeah. But I'll share a few of those clips with you, just so that you can see all the goodness that goes on during family time. So today I thought I would just check in for my Teacher Summers Boring Vlog series to document how I spent my summer. What did I do? Whoa! There he goes. Okay, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming. I am coming to get you. There he is. I see you, little boy. I see you. You don't think I will come in there?
I need to ask you.
What?
What about you do this and slide down and dip me, right?
Oh, slide down on my belly?
Yeah.
Okay, let me. Okay,
on.
here I come. Oh my gosh, I can't slide down there.
Do like this.
I know, I can't try like that, but your Mima's oldness. You're in. Woo! Boom, I'm it now. Oh boy. Whoa, don't you fall off this bed. I watched a movie on Netflix, 13 Sins. And if you haven't seen 13 Sins, I recommend you watch it. It looked like a budget movie, but a well done budget movie. The only actor I recognized was Ron Perlman from back in the day. He was very visible in a lot of like TV series and movies and stuff. He played the character of like a lead police detective or something. And then the younger characters I didn't recognize. The dad character I noticed his face, but I didn't know his name. And the lead female looked sort of familiar, but I don't know where I know her face from. So yeah. So 13 Sins, you ought to go check it out. You know, because it really ties back. If you didn't see my videos from last week, go back and watch any of them, because I think they all, especially the one on the Michael Weston effect, death and other controversies. Because in the movie 13 Sins, the main character is like broke, fired from his job, engaged to be married, expecting a baby. He has all these life changes going on at once, and then he gets this offer to play in this game. And it started off with simple little challenges for him to do, and each challenge was rewarded with thousands of dollars. But as the challenges progressed, the severity of what he was called to do got worse. He ended up breaking laws and committing larcenies and all kinds of, felonies and all kinds of, murder. Just it really changed him. And one of the characters has said to him, you're weak, you a punk, you weak. That's why we used to beat on you, because you weak, and I hit you and you saw me the next day and smiled at me. You don't have it. And that's pretty much like aligns with this idea, this thought that I've been one of the thoughts that I've been pressing in on, praying about. It's like the humanity, the soft skills, the love, the concern and care, all of those attributes or discredited. They don't count anymore. I mean, to God's people, to good people, or people who love, goodness, yeah, those values and those attributes are affirmed and they are important. But to the world system, having that humane side is a form of weakness, because the world system calls you to behave contradictory to God's system. And so they don't value the attributes. They don't regard kindness. They see that as a weakness. But does that mean then that we change? No, we don't change. We don't play the game. We continue. We keep doing goodness. We keep doing goodness. And I mean, it gets hard in our own power to do it, because, and it doesn't mean that you're a doormat. It means, I mean, like I said last week, you can be assertive. You speak up for what you need and what is right. You affirm your right to walk in these attributes. You don't allow yourself to be abused. But also, unless you are called, you don't keep putting yourself in the line of fire either, unless you are called to do that, to be the example to that group or crowd that you have been called to. So yeah. So you all, there are so many things I want to touch on. I want to keep this video short. I'm at 6 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it short, and I don't want to do too much editing, because I want to add in for my grandson what we did this weekend. But I was looking at pictures of the One World Tower in New York that replaced the Twin Towers. And it really it's an interesting building. I have heard that this building whistles, that it emits some sound, high-pitched whistling noise, ghostly sound. And that's probably a design, an engineering design. If it's an ongoing thing, it's an engineered design. It's not a fluke, and it's not a ghost. Because if you look at the structure of the building, you'll notice, you'll notice some things about it. I mean, I can remember when I was studying my education administration degree, we looked at facilities and the designs of schools, and the designs of facilities to meet the needs of your demographic. And so, yeah, anything in a design of that elaborate expense ain't a mistake. So if it's still making that noise, y'all, that's the point I'm making. So when you look at the building, it's the tallest building in the West. The tallest building in the West. And just go back and look at that structure, and then compare it to some of the structures in other parts of the world, and draw parallels and see what similarities you notice. Because I think, and also notice, I was reminded that there is like a memorial built there that is like an open pit of some sort, and it's square, and it's just like an open pit. Now that may not be the best way to describe it, but it's an opening in the ground, and it's a square shape, and it's inside of like a circular construction or just shape of the concrete. And it is very interesting. Now, I have not seen these two structures in person, but I'm just going to ask you to look at other structures around the world that have similar dimensions and construction. I mean, it's a cube, right? Yeah. And so why am I talking on these two structures? Because I'm going to go back to a point I made last week because it really is just riding with me. I just can't let it loose. I really believe, you all, that we are in the end times. We're at the beginning of the tribulation period. That's what I believe. Now, I'm no Bible expert. I'm no super Christian. I don't call myself anything. I'm just a mom and a teacher. I'm just a lover of truth and beauty. I love music. I love a lot of things. I'm just a regular mom, but I love God, and I really just try, even through my flaws, I really just try to seek him while he may be found. And so there are so many signs of the technology that is providing us conveniences and the trends that are making us fit in with the popular culture. I'm going to invite you to examine those things. Examine the tattoo. Now, my children have tattoos. I have friends with tattoos. My brother has many tattoos. I have none by choice. I've considered tattoos, but I have none by choice. But I want you to look at how it seems every decade has a trend. And the trends really have no explanation of why they're trendy. They are just, I guess, highlighted by the right people, and then everybody jumps on board. So in the 1990s, I think is when the tattoos really began to gain popularity, in the late 1990s. And all this other technology. I noticed last year people wearing these headphones or something around their neck that reminded me of some sci-fi movie I saw back in the 1990s of these prisoners. No Escape, I think, was the name of it. And this may have been shown in other movies as well. But this technology was really like what prisoners on house arrest wear, But the only difference was this thing would detonate if you went beyond your boundary, or if you did something wrong, they would detonate it and it would take your head off. So I am not calling folks to be paranoid. It's not that. It's not, be paranoid. We're in the beginning of the tribulation period. That is not it. I mean, people who want to that's an excuse to be ignorant, to call names and to accuse people of being terrorists or communists or some kind of racist, sexist. When you start just loosely throwing out those labels like that, it's an excuse for you not to take ownership of your part in the whole shebang. You have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to know, to seek knowledge, and to recognize what's going on in front of us, to know what the meanings are of these things presented to us. So the technology, the tattoo, is the precursor to the mark of the beast, I think. Now, this is just me. And I'm not condemning you if you have a tattoo. I am not saying you have the mark of the beast, because the RFID chip is also a precursor to some of the end time technology. And according to an article I read last week, there are many of us in population right now who have RFID chips inserted in our bodies, and we're not even aware of it. They are a part of different implants or surgical techniques that take place as a part of whatever, So I'm like, dag, it would be nice if we are informed that we're being implanted with an RFID chip. I mean, don't I have a right? That's just like the dogs. You put a chip in a dog to keep your dog from being lost, or so you could retrieve your dog if your dog is lost. But I'm nobody's dog, so I don't need no RFID chip. But in my eyes, I'm no one's dog. But in the world system's eyes, we are all cattle, fodder, And so, I don't know. I think, well, I do know it's important for us to become awake. And I think that we can become awake when we are selectively viewing. If we're going to use entertainment, then we can selectively view entertainment that will allow us, give us an opportunity to practice discernment skills, or to at least so that you can distinguish what's being presented to you and you can recognize what it is and what it means. So, yeah, even, you know, like different symbols, a lot of symbology is presented to us. And like, for instance, the Chanel symbol. Now, I don't really like Chanel. I mean, she's not my style. But that Vesica Pisces, that has a meaning. The CC, that's the Vesica Pisces symbol. What does it mean? Those of you who love Chanel, do you understand what that symbol represents and what it means? And so many other, like the Nike swoosh is really one of the rings of Saturn. I mean, it looks like, what's a swoosh? Okay, his speed, Nike speed. But actually it is, when you examine it, it is a portion of the ring, one of the rings of Saturn. And it's Saturn worship. So I guess the teacher is saying get educated. I've heard it said that things that we learn in school, many people think that the things we learn in school are worthless. But if you learn history, I really believe that if you take it upon yourself to learn, to increase your learning, just do it as a hobby. I mean, you can look on YouTube. There's this real cool crash course guy who does history lessons that are, I think, phenomenal. He does an outstanding job of presenting a history lesson condensed and in an interactive way that holds your attention, and it really gives you the content solidly and accurately. I'm no history expert, but from what I do know of history, so far so good. So yeah, the things we learn in school are important, and if we are too cool to learn history and math and science, and just do the best that you can and really strive to increase your effort and your understanding of the world around you and the application of what you learn in a classroom to real life situations, I think you will find that there is value in school. There is value in school. You'll be able to really read. And like when I was in high school, and I had a friend who would always say, ooh, she read, huh? Ooh, she read. And so it's just a way of saying that you understand that unspoken message, and you know how to address that unspoken message. Okay, so reading is, and understanding is a deep transaction, y'all. And reading can be verbal cues, written cues, graphic cues, nonverbal cues, a whole lot. And so we have to be able to read the signs of the time and distinguish where we are in the timeline of history and of the events that are predicted and preordained to come upon the earth. And so read the book of Joel. For those, I'm reading the book of Joel today. So if you want to know what I'm doing, I'm reading the book of Joel. I'm still reading the book of Revelation and Daniel. I'm still looking into those to just clarify or just help me to understand where we are today. All right. So that's it. This is a long video. I didn't even get to talk about the march on Washington and how I think it's time that Americans consider doing another march on Washington in response to the Constitution being annihilated, or our rights being annihilated. So we'll talk about that at another time. All right, y'all. Be blessed. Love you. Bye.